and maybe AI will factor into this, but one of the challenges is how to measure what you do, how to measure the
Hmm.
success of your programs. And have you given some thought to that? And where are you in that process?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Assessing performance is really important because it's the loop. Um, it gives us the data that we need to really decide, are we accomplishing what we want to accomplish in training?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be honest, for me, when you talk about the future of like where I'm at in my role and the stuff we're trying to do at our company, that's an area where I need to spend some time. It's an important area of measuring success. And it starts with defining what does success look like, and
Right.
then right, and that's probably the biggest question is what does success look like, and then figuring out, okay, what tools are we going to use to then measure that? Is it a survey? Is it an exam? Is it performance? I think that there's some things that we are struggling with, kind of coming with a black and white measure of what success is. Does the employee, we're striving, for example, to have more internal promotion. So when we there's some leaders that want to improve in that, like, hey, when we hire a new branch manager, do we bring that person in from outside, or can we promote from within? And sometimes it's one and sometimes it's the other. I think we would like to see more internal promotions in that role. So one of the measures can be, hey, people that went through this year-long training that I've been talking about, and it's on my mind because it's like the big thing project I'm working on right now. Did they get promoted?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't make the decision on whether they get promoted or not, right?
Right.
I'm the support. Did their local leaders decide, hey, they are now ready, they have got the skills, experience, and knowledge they need to then take on the next level? That can be a measure. I'm not sure that is the one measure of success with that program. It's, yeah, I wish I had this brilliant, innovative thing to share, like, hey, we're doing this really cool thing, this is how we're measuring. I'll just say, hey, I'm just being real, that I need to work on that. I need to figure out what that looks like, and then figure out how we assess that. Even when I was back at, as a professor in college, I mean, that was always a challenge to find out, are we accomplishing what we want to accomplish? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
really fun for me, because I love this stuff, just to talk to people about it and have people do things and have people engage with the content. But is it accomplishing what we hope to accomplish? And
And maybe
got to work on
maybe
that one.
maybe AI can help with that and identify the things that matter and the things to measure. Because I think part of the challenge is you don't have the picture of never having done it. So if you can say, well, I'm going to spend 5 years not training anybody, let's see what that looks like. And now I'm going to implement this great training, let's see what that looks like. We don't have that
Yeah.
luxury, right? And so you've got to
Yeah.
figure out what are the levers, what are the things to look at that can give you that answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And this goes back too to like the question you asked earlier about the differences for me in moving from the college classroom to the corporate is, in the college environment, we have a lot of data that we can pull from.
Mm-hmm.
So we have exam scores, we have project grades, we have all this different stuff that we can kind of pull from. And it's just where I'm at right now with what I'm working on. We don't have that at the same degree. And
Right.
not that we can't, there's work to do there for us.
Yes, I agree. And it'll be challenging, but worth investing. So this has been great, Skylar. I love talking to you. So when you think about the future of L&D, besides AI, which is not a trivial
Yeah.
besides, and measurement, are there other things that you think about that you feel like you need to plan for that might be coming?
I think that something that comes to mind is, as we all through the past 3-4 years came through COVID, it was very challenging, for many reasons, in the learning and development field. In the teaching side, it's like figuring out how to teach people now that maybe weren't going to be physically present all the time. I think that there's some silver lining to that. I think that kind of forced us to think creatively about how we do that. But I
Mhm.
also feel like we have some good work to do there too, and figure out, okay, so how do we best deliver training in situations where traditionally that type of training has been done in person.
Mhm. Mhm.
How do we do that? And it's challenging, but it's exciting because it allows that training to become more scalable at a lower cost.
Right.
And but we got to make sure we do it really well too. It can't just be like, oh, we do it online now. Something in landscaping, a technical might be like how to sharpen a lawnmower blade, or how to properly prune a rhododendron, or how to properly calculate fertilization rates or whatever. And
Mhm.
stuff that has been done hands-on in workshops, can we do that online? So I think that's a part of the future, is still, and it's not like we've been doing it for a while, but I feel like, and maybe it's just me personally, like I feel like there'll be a lot more to come in us improving how we communicate in a virtual world. And
Well, that
online learning has been around for a while, so
yes.
it's not like we're starting from scratch. But that's something that I think about a lot. I feel like when I was in a college classroom with a group of students live, how I interact and feel the culture and the tempo of the room, the pulse of the room, is very different when it's a group of people on a Zoom call, right? And how
Right.
do I get that same interaction and engagement through? Those are questions I think we need to keep working on.
I agree, and it was sort of it's either online or in person, and I think what you're saying is there's a much more nuanced view of
Yeah,
this that we need to think about, so that it won't be one or the other. It'll be some package of ideas that come
yeah,
together. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, anyway, it's been great talking to you, Tyler. I have really enjoyed it. So this is a time I'm going to ask you what didn't I ask you? Are there things that I should have asked, or that you think are important, that you'd like to bring up now?
I can't think of any questions. I love talking about this stuff. We could probably talk for an hour more. But I've enjoyed talking with you and being engaged with this, as you've brought up. For me personally, getting into the corporate leadership and development world has been a fun new challenge and adventure, for me. And
Hmm.
it's fun to interact with people that are like-minded. So I appreciate the opportunity to kind of talk with you a little bit about that. I look forward to, I'll be attending ATD 23, which some of the listeners may be going to later this fall, out in San Diego. I look forward. For me, it's just exciting to kind of get into this world and realize that there's a lot more there, than I had even realized. I'm learning too about the L&D world and profession, and it's
Hmm.
exciting.
Great.
So I don't know if there's any questions I'd say you didn't ask. There probably are, and I don't know what they are either.
So
But
it's a perfect
it's been fun
interview.
to chat. Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Skylar.
yeah. Thank you very much.